The Michigan primary results are going to be the topic of a couple of segments this morning. But first, I want to draw your focus to the third place ballot line there. Marianne Williamson, despite having suspended her campaign, placed third ahead of Dean Phillips, who actually finished last. And because of that, she apparently felt compelled to re-enter the race and unsuspend her campaign.
The competition for the 12 voters that made up that 0.3% was fierce.
Yes, it was fierce, and she won. And so she's got big momentum now, as we know. Here's Marianne Williamson taking to Twitter, announcing she is back in.
I have an important announcement to make. As of today, I am unsuspending my campaign.
As of today, I am canceling my appearance as the tarot card reader at the Santa Barbara Renaissance Festival because I am re-entering the presidential race.
I don't want to disappoint anyone who's already made an appointment. So if you've made an appointment, please email my assistant.
Please email my assistant. If we hear from you within 48 hours, we'll give you a full refund.
And I will sense your aura from a distance.
Yes, right. Exactly. All right, here we go.
Hey, I have an important announcement to make. As of today, I am unsuspending my campaign for the presidency of the United States. I had suspended it because I was losing the horse race. But something so much more important than the horse race is at stake here.
We were running out of content.
We must respond.
Yeah.
Right now, we have a fascist standing at the door. Everybody's all upset about it. Well, we should be upset about it. But we're not going to defeat the fascist by what? What is President Biden offering? He says, let's finish the job. Well, I hope you realize we're talking about millions of voters for whom they can't even survive unless they work at 2 or 3 jobs. What is he saying beyond, the economy is really doing well? Are you kidding me? For whom? It's doing well for 20% of us, and that's to be celebrated. But that 20% is on an island surrounded by a vast sea of economic
despair. Is it great news? I don't think it's great news that the 20%
Well, it's great news for her because she's in the 20%.
She's in the 20%, indeed. And that's great for them. I'm happy for them.
39% of the American people report that they are regularly skipping meals in order to pay their rent. Over half of bankruptcies come from medical debt. 1 in 4 Americans carry. We're now living at a time where economic anxiety is experienced by the majority of people living paycheck to paycheck, the minimum wage not having been raised, and increasing militarism. What's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on here. We, the people, basically don't own this country right now. Abraham Lincoln said that
really?
people died in the Civil War for the
really?
Died
You
so
think?
that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people would not perish from the earth. It's perishing now. And on our watch.
Yes, and I'm the one who can stop it by re-entering the presidential race on the strength of my 3% showing in the Michigan primary. I'm sorry. She is such an unbelievable narcissist. And, this is what I tried to communicate to her face to face. I said, no one's telling you to give up and keep your mouth shut and not speak out. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Be an activist.
Right. The way these people think, the way these rich people think is it has to be me, right? The answer has to lie within me and myself. The narcissism to think that you are equipped to actually change the direction of this country by re-entering a primary where your top showing now, in terms of raw vote, was this Michigan primary, where what did you get? You got 22,000 votes. That's good for 3%. Like, it's over and done so obviously. And, she would say, well, nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is running against Joe Biden, so somebody has to do it. No, nobody has to do it. If it's lost, it's lost. And don't call me a cynic for saying that. You're a grifter for not acknowledging that. You're a grifter for giving people false hope and soliciting donations where they could otherwise go to mutual aid that would help alleviate some of the problems you're talking about. Food insecurity, housing insecurity, medical debt. Like, the answer is not you. The answer doesn't always have to be you. That's the way all these rich and famous people think. And people in office and all these people in power, that's why senators don't retire. They clutch on to the idea that they have to be the ones in charge. They have to be the ones to change course and steer the ship in the right direction.
Well, they also get off on the perks, the platform, the power,
Right.
the status. For Marianne, if she were to use her platform just to direct people to donate to causes, nobody would have a bad word to say about her.
No, not at all.
Maybe people she's thrown a Nokia at might
Right.
still hold a grudge. But for the most part, people would be like, good, she's doing good work. This is basically saying, well, if nobody else is going to play in the rigged casino, I guess I have to.
Right.
And I guess I have to lead other people to come play this rigged game. Why? That doesn't demonstrate that you should be leading. It demonstrates that you're uniquely disqualified by demonstrating such a lack of insight, such a lack of seriousness, such a lack of analytical capabilities. You're the last person who should be directing any left movement.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's just crazy. And, now she's getting back in. Phillips is staying in. They're of the opinion that, if Biden is forced to withdraw, that they're going to be in some kind of position.
The delegates would never pick either one of you.
No,
they're going to grab an insider in good standing, probably Gavin Newsom.
Right. And that's why Biden is staying in at least until Super Tuesday, which I believe is next week. Is Super Tuesday next week or the week after? I think it's next week. Once that day comes, Biden will have secured 50% plus, after which point the voters are irrelevant. The voters are irrelevant past that point. Once Biden clinches that 50% threshold, it is now in the delegates' hands, meaning whoever volunteered to vote for Joe Biden at the DNC in Chicago, they are the ones who control who becomes the nominee past Super Tuesday. And if it is not Biden, those delegates will be instructed to pick a certain other candidate at the DNC. Probably Newsom. Outside chance it's Whitmer, but it's almost certainly going to be Newsom if they go that road. It's not going to be Dean Phillips. It's not going to be Marianne Williamson. And the voters are not going to be in a position to do anything about it. That's why Biden is staying in as long as he is.
Nor are there any voters who are going to be clamoring for it to be Dean Phillips or Marianne Williamson.
No, they're not getting any votes. They're getting hardly any votes.
They're not even going to get any pressure in that direction. Like, what? Oh, yeah, no, a bunch of insiders at the Democratic Party are going to sit down and pick the people who, against orders from the DNC, decided to challenge their doddering incumbent president that they're desperately trying to pretend is not losing his mind. Yeah, they're going to pick you guys because they have a long history of warming up to people who cross them.
Please clap.